We've got Karceno, and we're going to talk about the Donaire Rigondeaux fight. I'll let you go first, Karceno.
Fightersrated.com. I'm from BoxingSocialist.com. I'm glad to be here. And like to say about the fight, I think that it'll be an intriguing matchup for how long it lasts. I think that Rigondeaux, who's fought over 300 plus amateur fights, probably one of the greatest amateur fighters ever to live, but he's in a whole different world now. You're fighting a guy who has a lot of pro level experience, meaning that they're not wearing headgear. A lot of things the headgear does, it restricts you from seeing certain punches because of the way it's guarded on your face. And when you don't have the headgear, you become lazy. Your eyes become trained not to look for certain things because you're not used to seeing it come. By the time he sees the left hook that's going to hit him from Donaire, it will be too late to make an adjustment. He had this problem against Markowin in his last fight. Markowin was catching Rigondeaux with his left hand, the left hook, constantly, and he hurt it because he's not used to being hit without headgear. And if Donaire hits him like this, it won't be a wobble. He's going down. He's not going to be able to get up because Donaire has excellent timing and he gets excellent leverage on his left hook. And he has speed on his side. Rigondeaux has, everybody's fault has been either flat-footed, slow, tailor-made for him to stand in front of him. Except for when he fought, Cordova, the only world-ranked fighter, the former world champion, that really basically almost beat him, dropped Rigondeaux a few times. It's going to be a whole different experience for him. Rigondeaux likes to sit back, he needs space, he needs the distance so that he can create the range himself and dictate the pace of the fight. It is not going to happen with Nonito Donaire because Nonito Donaire wants him to believe he's in control until he takes advantage and he closes the distance on you, and as soon as you make a reaction, the left hook is coming. And it's going to be the left that drops him. I'm saying 5 rounds, maybe even sooner than that. Rigondeaux is going to get some experience at the pro level that he never expected from Nonito Donaire.
Yeah, I have a bit of a different opinion. Basically, I think I'm going for Donaire in this. I think this is his fight. But I think he's got Rigondeaux at the right time. Because Rigondeaux, and I said this before on Twitter, if Donaire didn't get to Rigondeaux now, there's a chance that he might go too far into his pro career and then he can't catch him. And I think Donaire has got him at the right time while he's still learning the game. And when you look at Rigondeaux, you can see he's like that figure on Fight Night that you play and you built him up, you boosted him up, and he's a great to play with. But the thing is, can you play with him properly? Do you know what I mean? And that's Rigondeaux. You know, he's got everything, but he hasn't got the experience that Donaire has. I can see with Rigondeaux that he likes to steal the rounds, so he's still got that amateur game in the pro game. But Donaire is a more polished professional, like I just said. Not to mention the fact that he's got 3 times the amount of fights. Also, Donaire's very, he's got quick reflexes just like Rigondeaux. You know, so they're very similar. Like that, they rely a lot on their reflexes. They're very zippy. So I think this is going to be a very, very, interesting fight because it's going to be very, like, you know, zippy. And, it's not going to be action like a Gaddy Ward. It's going to be more like, I've got the tools to do whatever I want, but what can I do with you? How am I going to do this? Am I going to hit you here? Am I going to go body? Am I going to go head? There's going to be they're going to feel each other out, but not in a way. Yeah, it's going to be a real sort of, one of those fights. It's not going to be action. It's not going to be like a Rios Alvarado, nowhere near it.
No.
They're not going to be. They're not going to be in the trenches beating the hell out of each other like those two. They're going to. Yeah, it's going to be a radar type fight, and it's going to be good. I think it'll go the distance. I haven't seen Rigondeaux besides the Marroquin fight, the last one that he was in. He was a little bit in trouble at the end. But besides that, he has been pretty good for his 11 fights. I have to say he's been really impressive for 11 fights. He would have been a lot more impressive actually than Donaire after 11 fights. But the problem is that he doesn't have 32 fights like Donaire. So that's the big difference here, is the fight experience. And I think that's what's going to get Donaire over the line. The only thing that I do worry about is Rigondeaux's amateur game. Because he does like to steal rounds, can he steal enough rounds off Donaire to get the decision at the end? I guess we'll find out, but I don't like Donaire giving up his title to that. I think he's going to hold on to it and do what he has to do to win that fight. So, yeah, I'm going Donaire.
I like your analogy. You give Rigondeaux a lot more credit for his boxing ability than I do, and that's good.
Yeah.
Me, I just think it's going to be an annihilation once he get hit. The only way he goes past 5 is if he decides that he's going to keep his hands back and throw 3 punches around and try to stay away. There's no way he hurts Nino Donaire. There is no way he can do anything of the sort.
Yeah, I don't think he'll really hurt Donaire, but I think he'll try and steal rounds. This is his kind of game. This is what he likes to do. He likes to steal the rounds. He's still got that amateur style, of gaining points. That's the only danger that Donaire has here, because Donaire, he can take rounds, but he lost a few against Vazquez, and he has lost round. He's not like the Klitschko's where they take every single round. He can give away rounds, and Rigondeaux likes to pile up points. And I don't really see how. As explosive as Donaire is, Rigondeaux's just as explosive too. So I don't see how Donaire is going to really sort of hurt him too much, but I could be wrong. But I pretty much see it going.
The only way I don't see it going is Rigondeaux's way, and that's just the way it is. I don't think Rigondeaux has enough, because Donaire does not lose rounds. It's very rare that Donaire will lose a round that I've seen. I've seen the Vazquez fight. When he had trouble, when he first got up to the weight, it didn't seem like he was, comfortable at the weight. Like he had to drain himself. He didn't look fluent like he normally did when he first moved up to
Yeah.
But since then, he's looked comfortable at the weight, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah.
And he's looking to fight probably another 3 times this year. Probably would have done 4 if his child wasn't being born. And Donaire is not to be messed with right now. He's on a collision course to go all the way up to the top. I just don't know how far up in weight he can keep climbing.
I don't think this fight's going to take too much out of his progress. I think this fight's just going to be one that he has to get out of the way. I don't think it's going to be one of those fights that really affects the rest of his year or his career or anything like that. Like the Tim Bradley fight versus Povetkin. Both of those guys are going to come out of that a bit sore and sorry for the rest of their careers, to be honest. That was a war. You can't go through too many of those in your career and keep going, And I don't think this fight's going to be like that. I think this is going to be one of those get in, get out type fights. And we'll just, you win, I win, whatever. It's not going to be, career-ending type fight. But who do you think Donaire's going to be facing after this, or who do you think Donaire should face, or who do you think's a threat for Donaire after this? But
The only threat that's there for Donaire would be Gary Russell Jr. That is the only guy I feel that can give him competition with hand speed and power. But is that fight a reality? No. I don't see it realistically happening. He's going to fight Vic Darchinyan next. And Darchinyan just signed with Espinoza. He's got a new manager now. He's left his manager after all these years. And now he's signed with Espinoza. Yeah, so look for that fight to happen. The rematch with Donaire. That could be next. And I think that's about an 80% chance. Who he should be fighting next is the winner between Mares and what's his name? He should go to 120.
DeLeon.
Winner of Mares and
DeLeon.
Yeah, Ponce de Leon. That should be his next opponent. But we won't see that.
Yeah. Was that is that the whole Gold Boy Aram thing? Or?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to keep it out. It can go to a first bid, but neither side is going to take the fight. They'll just move up to another weight class or abandon the belt. So it's hard to make a fight on a first bid for a belt when a person can abandon the belt. Don't care about the belt. Go to another weight class. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. So, I guess there's not really much left for him if he gets past Rigondeaux, really. I mean,
no, he's running out
obviously
of he's going to have to move up to like 126 and see what's there. And Chris John fight is there for him at 126. So that's the fight he's going to take. That fight's already really been worked out. So the Chris John fight is there when he goes up to 126. So after Rigondeaux, he might fight Vic Darchinyan at 122, or he might tell Vic, let's go to 126 and fight because I'm going up there to fight Chris John. So
do you think Chris John would actually step out of his comfort zone to take that fight? But because I know he does like to fight in Indonesia, so I mean it's not like he's gonna.
Right, and then if Vic Darchinyan can't get that fight, he can fight the winner of Mares and Ponce de Leon, which a lot of people, they really don't understand how Mares is even moving up because Ponce de Leon is just way too big for having Mares.
Yeah. But do you think Mares is going to beat De Leon? Or? Do you think Mares will beat De Leon?
I think he can, but he cannot be careless. I mean, the guy hits like a tank. I talked to Efren Squevis Jr. He sparred both guys. And he said Ponce de Leon is the hardest hitter he has ever been in the ring with. And he controlled Donaire Mares. He was Mares' sparring partner for when he fought Beckham. And he said, oh my God, that is the strongest guy I have ever been in the ring with Ponce de Leon. He said, I can control Donaire Mares. He said, Donaire Mares should not move up in weight because I can control him. His punches don't really move. He said, I felt him through the glove, through the training gloves. He's like, we're wearing 14-ounce gloves. And I can feel his jabs. Everything hurts from Ponce de Leon.
Yeah.
That guy,
I mean, it's a power change from Moreno. Moreno only had 12 KOs from his 33 wins. I mean,